Hello everyone, my name is Dee. Welcome to my YouTube channel and welcome back if you have been here before. Today we are going to be doing a reading on what is next in love with a hint of your next significant relationship partner, because I couldn't really decide which route I wanted to take this in. So we are going to pull some tarot cards first, see what's going on in your love life, what's coming up next in your love life, but really specifically geared to who's next, like who is coming into your love life next, especially when it comes to significant relationships and happy, healthy, fulfilling relationships. So after that, we're going to pull some oracle cards just to get a little bit of a description of, how this person is, who this person is, some potential zodiac signs and initials, as well as potential time frames for when this is going to come about. As always, this is a general reading, so please take what resonates and leave the rest. If it does not resonate with you, then it is not meant for you. And with all of that said, we have pile 1 with the rose quartz, pile 2 with tiger's eye, and pile 3 with the green aventurine. Hello, pile 1, my rose quartz pile. Let's see what is coming up next in your love life. My pile 1 singles, what is going on? Let's see what is next in love for you. Okay, let's see what is going on currently, probably, because that'll, of course, jump out first. And then we'll get into what is next, and really primarily who is next when it comes to your love life. Okay, so we've got the Ten of Swords and the Moon. Basically, what this is going to bring up for me is we've dealt with some real scum lords in our love life as of recent. The moon is going to represent lies and deception, things being hidden from us. The Ten of Swords is going to represent betrayals and cheating and getting stabbed in the back. So with all of that said, I would say that the current / recent past and even distant past state of our love life is that we've been through a lot of pain, and a lot of this pain also, at times we could have, let's say, kept inside. We might not share our story with others, because I do feel like when it comes to like the moon and the Ten of Swords, it just for me is going to bring up this strong message of there could have been something like abuse going on in our prior relationships, either like abuse, manipulation, etc. So we might not always feel open and be sharing our story of what it is that we've gone through, but it does seem as though there has been a significant amount of past relationship trauma that we have accumulated due to our recent and even distant past love lives. Okay, so there's been a lot that hasn't exactly been the best or the brightest when it comes to our love lives. And we have the Knight of Swords, but first we had this guy jumping out. We have the Seven of Cups, the Knight of Swords, and let's get like 1 or 2 more tarot cards just to see what's next. Because I feel like with that Seven of Cups, the Seven of Cups is more so, especially Judgment just joined us. The Seven of Cups is going to bring me more so clarity, and a lot of this clarity is perhaps an indication of like so the Seven of Cups in general, it's going to bring up a bunch of different things, and part of what it actually means is a bunch of different things. It means many options, multiple options, etc. And I feel like something that's been going on is maybe when it comes to our like trying to heal from what we've had to deal with in our past, we've explored many different options and many different avenues. We could have done a lot of like self-healing tricks. We could have focused on self-love and self-care. We also could have tried exploring other romantic options, just kind of seeing or putting ourselves out there. Almost like this indication of like I keep getting hurt, but I'm not going to stop putting myself out there. And that might be part of the attitude that you have right now. You know, like, yes, I've been hurt in the past, but that's not going to hold me back from exploring what's out there, which is a beautiful thing to see. I also feel like the Seven of Cups can indicate that at this point in time, and I say that especially because I had to explain this in the last reading as well from one of the cards, but I don't use reversals in this deck. So for me, when I interpret the cards, I interpret them as, you know, their full meaning that the card can encompass. With that said, the Seven of Cups can indicate reality and clarity. And I feel like you have done a lot of the work that you need in order to heal from what's been going on in your love life, you know, to heal from past relationships or past connections that you've been in. And I feel like the Judgment card backs that up. You know, like, we have a lot of clarity surrounding it. We're able to look at it from this objective viewpoint that the Judgment card will bring up. We see it clearly for what it is, and we know that we deserve better, and we know that there's other options out there for us. And I feel like the Knight of Swords in between, first of all, it can be an indication that you have and you are continuing to seize opportunities when it comes to your own healing, when it comes to gaining clarity, when it comes to options within your love life. Again, there's just this strong indication to me that, yeah, you've been through some shit, but you sure as hell ain't giving up. You know, like, you're not giving up on exploring what's out there, seeing what's out there in regard to your love life. And I feel like, for as much pain and trauma as certain situations within your past have caused, you're able to maintain this very objective, honest viewpoint of other people, perhaps, and what it is that they bring to the table. So I'm not sure if that makes complete and total sense, but I feel like you definitely use your powers of discernment when it comes to exploring romantic relationships. And part of that, of course, is from learned behavior. Like, you're never going to put yourself back into a situation where you might experience like lies, cheating, deception, manipulation, abuse even. You're, you know, like, you are someone who tries to look at, like, it's almost like, too, I feel like this is something, I don't know if this is going to make sense for everybody or if it's even going to make sense to anyone, but it's almost like, to me, what you've gone through in your past has made you more intuitive and more empathetic, if that makes sense. And I feel like now you do have this, like, really super, I want to use the word keen, like, this very keen sense of, you know, who people are and who they are presenting themselves to be. Like, you're really good at seeing through. I guess there's no possible way for me to kind of have these all on camera since we're about to pull other cards. But, you know me, I'm not going to stop attempting my best. There we go. But I feel like you just have this very keen sense of who people are. You're able to see through people very easily, etc. So I'm not sure if that's going to make sense to anyone, but I do feel like you are someone who's, again, very intuitive. You have very good judgment, let's say. You use your power of discernment a lot, especially when it comes to you putting yourself out there in your love life. But I really love this indication, or this very strong message of, yeah, I've been through some stuff, some negative stuff within my love life, but I'm not giving up, and I'm continuing to put myself out there. I'm continuing to explore my options. I take opportunities when I see them, but I also have very good judgment, and I'm able to clearly see people for who they are. So I don't know if that makes sense, but to me, it's like, whatever trauma you've been through, it's made you more intuitive or more empathetic. It's made it really easy for you to be able to pinpoint what certain people are all about, and you steer clear of those certain situations. Okay? Again, not sure if that makes sense. As always, take what resonates, leave the rest, but that's something that I'm picking up on, so I do hope that it does resonate. Do hope that it is making sense for at least one of us that is listening to this. And let's see, we have the Three of Cups jumping out next. And I do love the Three of Cups here, because to me, it kind of shows, like, especially I'm gearing this reading around singles. And when it comes to the Three of Cups, we also enjoy our singlehood. You know, like, we enjoy being single. We enjoy our singlehood. We enjoy the freedom and the independence that it gives us. You know, like, we're not disappointed that we are single right now. again, we never really closed ourselves off to love. We actually made sure, or made an effort, or made a point of never closing ourselves off to love. But at the same time, with this Three of Cups, we're enjoying the time that we get to spend with friends and family members. We're enjoying our singlehood. And it's something that, you know, we don't find any shame in, which I love to see. With that said, now let's transition into what is going on. Really, like a mixture of who and when we're going to have this next relationship partner come into our lives. So I think maybe we'll do the when first. Let's get an oracle card or two out of this index card thing that I made, to see some possible time frames as to when this person is going to be coming in to our lives. We have Pisces season, which is February to March. So that would be 2024. And I want to get one more, not only just to have like a little mixture, maybe to get some confirmation. We also have June. Okay, and we are in June. And lastly, we have within the year. Okay, so we have Pisces season, we have June, which is coming up, or we're in June now, actually. This year has flown by. So we have Pisces season, which I would say would be next year, 2024. We have June, which is quickly approaching, and we also have within the year. So I would say that for many of us that are listening to Pile 1, we're going to meet our next significant relationship partner within the year. And I feel like for you, especially since we have all these beautiful messages of how you're not closing yourself off to love, if anything, it just made you have better judgment of people's characters within your love life. We're not closing ourselves off to love. You know, we're still exploring our opportunities. We're putting ourselves out there. We're enjoying our singlehood, but even while we're enjoying our singlehood, we're still exploring our options and seeing what is out there when it comes to our love lives. And I do feel like within this next year, so now June to June, it's highly likely, especially since you're not closing yourself off to love, it's highly likely, and there's a lot of potential for you meeting this next significant relationship partner, again, within the year. Okay, so I hope that that makes sense. For some of us, it could even be within the next couple of days. Let's say within the next 30 days, because I'm recording this on June 1st. So now let's get a zodiac sign, or maybe we'll do 3. We'll do like 3 for each other deck that I'm pulling from. Okay, so we have Leo as potential zodiac sign. Since it is a love reading, it's going to be Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus signs. So we have Leo, we have fire, so that would be Leo times 2, as well as Sagittarius and Aries. And we have Taurus. Okay, so potential zodiac signs, Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, and Taurus. And before I forget, how can I forget our Scrabble tiles? Okay, so let's get a couple of potential initials here. This could be their first name, their last name, their middle name, if you want to get fancy. Some ASMR when it comes to the Scrabble tiles. And we've got a couple in our hands. I'm going to try to put them down as neatly as I can. We have E, M, J, that was an A, a U, and a T. Maybe your person is an EMT. But anyway, we have EMT, JUA, jumping out as possible or potential initials for this next significant relationship partner that you are going to meet at some point within the year. Okay, now I want to pull from this deck. I love using this deck because I feel like it could maybe give us a little bit of a physical description, depending on the cards that jumped out, okay? Because usually you can't really get too good of a physical description when you're reading cards. But I like this deck because sometimes it will have certain characters on the cards that we can get some possible physical descriptions of. With that said, this card's also going to bring up some, let's say, personality traits or characteristics that this person could have. Okay, we have the Lady of the Gift. generosity, receiving, and also withholding. But we're focusing on the positives here today. So we have generosity and receiving. To me, that's going to bring up that this person is somebody who is going to have a lot of or that this is a connection rather that's going to have a lot of reciprocation within it. Okay, there's equal time, effort, and energy being given. That this person is very generous with their time. They're perhaps very generous with you. That this person, is very well versed or good at, as are you, because of all of these different healing methods that it seems like you partake in. You're very good, both of you, at giving and receiving love. The both of you accept love, the both of you receive love, the both of you can give love to one another. It just, this card to me too is just automatically going to bring up, let's say, especially with that generosity and the receiving, that this person is someone who is highly capable of, let's say, giving their all when it comes to a relationship and being met with a partner that's also equally giving their all. So I hope that makes sense. And as we can tell by the character on the card, we have pale skin and we have lighter hair. Okay. So now let's pull some other cards and see what else. Okay, we have the Well Watcher. And the Well Watcher will bring up wisdom and power of the divine. So when it comes to this person, they could be somebody who's very wise, somebody who's very intelligent. Again, she does more so have lighter hair. So again, we get like pale skin, lighter hair as a possible physical description. But anyway, this person could be somebody who's spiritual because of the power of the divine. So this could be somebody that's into maybe the same things that you are when it comes to spirituality, or the two of you could have a lot of spiritual talks. For some reason, this card, just in general, with the wisdom and the power of the divine, it's bringing me to the Hermit. Not like there's a direct connection, but for me, it's bringing up the Hermit. I'm getting this mental image of the Hermit as a tarot card, that this person is someone who's very wise, very introspective, somebody who could at times may be a bit more of an introvert. Doesn't have to be, though, because it's not like the Hermit jumped out. But this person also is somebody who's very spiritual in nature, or very focused on their own personal growth, which, of course, could perhaps be something that the two of you have in common, since it seems like you also place a focus on self-growth. Okay, and then the final card to jump out is the High Lady of Love and Compassion. Again, we get pale skin and light hair. Okay, so that does not usually happen, but all three of these cards bring up people that have quite a similar physical description or physical appearance. It seems like my cat is going to join us for the last couple of minutes of this. And we have reverence, kindness, and consideration. Okay, so really, as characteristics, as personality traits, how beautiful that this person is. They're wise, they're generous, they are capable of giving and receiving love at a higher vibration. He can stay on camera so long as I can see these three cards. Okay. This person is capable of giving and receiving love, giving and receiving compassion. That this person is empathetic, let's say, this person. And you know what? That could be something, again, that's not only very important to you, but that's also a characteristic that the two of you have compatibility in. This power of the divine and the intuition message I got from the tarot cards for you. And this message of compassion and empathy mixed with that message of empathy that I got from you, and how it's like your intuitive abilities and your empathic abilities are something that are perhaps heightened due to what you've been through in the past. And it seems as though when it comes to, he's just destroying everything. So and it seems like when it comes to this person, we have someone who, again, is very capable of kindness and compassion. They're very capable of giving and receiving their love. They're capable of they have or are very much so into, let me make sure they're all on camera. There we go. They're very into perhaps their intuition or spirituality, etc. Like this is somebody who you seem to be, just based on those first 6 tarot cards, this seems to be somebody who's highly compatible with you for your characteristics, for your personality traits, let's say, but also in the sense that maybe the two of you have been through some of the same things. Maybe the two of you can relate to one another in the more so spiritual way as well. And it just seems like to me, when it comes to this next significant relationship, you're dealing with someone who is going to be very generous, very considerate, and also, I feel perhaps most important, especially considering what it is that you've been through in the past, that this person is going to be very considerate of your feelings. Even in the past, like you could have been in relationships or connections where you felt like your emotions or your feelings or your opinions were being dismissed. And it seems like this person is someone who you can really open up to, somebody who you can be vulnerable and emotionally intimate with and build this deeper emotional investment and deeper emotionally intimate bond without shying away from it or without being judged. Okay, it just seems like this person is a very nice, loving, generous, wise, intelligent, and compassionate person. And it seems as though the two of you are going to really be able to relate to one another on a lot of different things. Okay, so I hope that this makes sense. I hope that it resonates. Again, we have, as far as a time frame, and of course, take the time frames as they resonate. For some of us, we could be quickly moving forward toward a romantic connection with somebody that's similar to how I just described them, with somebody who's a Leo, a Sag, an Aries, a Taurus, with these possible initials J, I don't know, I think the O is under his foot, J-O, or J-M-U-A-T-E. We could be dealing with somebody who has these similar traits, and we could very well be in a relationship with them in this next month of June. Or this could be someone that we know we have not exactly met yet, and we can expect to meet them within the next year of our lives. Thank you so much, Pile 1, and I hope that everybody has a wonderful day. Hello, Pile 2, my tiger's eye pile. Let's take a look at what is next in love. Okay, let's see a little bit of perhaps what is going on in your love life. And we will get into what is coming up next. We will get some tarot cards out here first, and then we will take a look at who your next relationship partner will be and when about you can expect them. So we start with the Queen of Cups, which is the queen of self-love and self-care. We also have the Five of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands, the Page of Cups, the Empress. I am loving this reading so far. And the King of Cups. So I love this so much, especially now with that ending of the King of Cups, and we started with the Queen. With all of that said, my Pile 2s, there is such a strong message here, especially when we have the Queen, the Five of Pentacles, and then the other Queen, that you have spent a, let's say, significant amount of time focusing on self-love and self-care. So maybe we've been single for a hot minute. Maybe we have wanted to be single for a hot minute to more so focus on ourselves. But we have the Queen of Cups. And the Queen of Cups, I usually dub her, again, as the Queen of self-love and self-care. We then have the Five of Pentacles. And the Five of Pentacles is going to bring up low self-worth. It can bring up that we might at times be or have felt negatively about ourselves. It could indicate that at times we weren't valuing ourselves, or we weren't maybe meeting people who valued us. It can be an indication of us feeling left out in the cold when it comes to certain connections. So to me, that might bring up something like ghosting, or connections that ended sort of out of nowhere and you were blindsided by their endings. It can indicate a lack of self-worth with that Five of Pentacles. Then we have the Queen of Wands, and the Queen of Wands, I would definitely say, is the Queen of self-worth. She is very confident and very self-assured. The Five of Pentacles, of course, since it is going to embody all of the meaning of the Five of Pentacles, could also mean a recovery from all of these things. And I feel like when it comes to you and when it comes to what's next in love, and even when it comes to what has been going on within your love life, you have put time, effort, and energy back into yourself. You have recovered from any low self-worth that you might have once had in the past. You have gotten over and healed from certain connections in the past that either negatively affected your self-worth, or were rather dismissive, left you out in cold, ghosted, etc. Like, you have put in a lot of time, effort, and energy into yourself. You have healed, you have grown, you have evolved. And it is such a beautiful thing to see here. Okay, and now I would even say, like, we do have the Empress jumping out a little bit later, because I feel like the Empress is more so of what's going on right now. But even starting with that Queen of Cups and then ending with that King of Cups, it's like you have put time, effort, and energy into yourself. You feel very settled, stable, secure within your own life. You feel very, let's say, emotionally grounded and balanced within your own life. There's a lot of things in your life right now that are quite harmonious and peaceful, etc. And it seems as though you are attracting, like energetically attracting that same energy back in the form of your next significant partner. You know, in the form of, like, as far as what is coming up next in your love life, you are literally attracting the exact type of energy that you are exuding out into the world, which is such a lovely thing to see. Okay? So we spent time focusing on ourselves, on our own healing, getting our shit together, etc. We are feeling very confident, very self-assured, and we are perhaps, let's say, even ready to put ourselves out there with that Queen of Wands and moving forward into the Page of Cups. You know, we've been putting ourselves out there, or we've at least been allowing ourselves to be open to the possibility of something occurring within our love lives. And what I mean for that is, some of us might still be enjoying our singlehood. Some of us might not feel exactly ready for a relationship right now at this moment in time, but we're still leaving ourselves open to the possibility of it. And I feel like with the Queen of Cups, the Queen of Wands, even the recovery that takes place when it comes to the Five of Pentacles, as we move forward to the Page of Cups, we are open and we are ready for love. We are highly capable of giving and of receiving love, which is so important as we move forward, or try to make positive movement forward towards certain connections within our love life. We then have the Empress, and the Empress to me is highlighting, as far as what's next in love life, in your love life, especially next to the King of Cups, I feel like there's two different possibilities. It could be more of us pampering and taking care of and loving on ourselves, or it could be that we are, again, attracting somebody very soon into our love lives. And of course, this is all energetic attraction, let's say. You know, like, we're in this perfect energy, this Empress energy, this goddess energy, let's say. And we are attracting someone into our love lives that is also very emotionally and mentally, spiritually, physically, etc., like balanced and grounded within their own lives. We're attracting somebody who's capable of being emotionally intimate and emotionally available, etc., into our love lives. And I feel very strongly that for a lot of us that are listening to Pile 2, it's more so of this indication of we're ready and we're beginning to put ourselves out there within our love lives, and we are attracting the exact type of energy that we are putting out. You know, we have this very high sense of self-worth, as we should. We know what we deserve. We know what we are worth. And we are attracting someone into our lives that is capable of giving us what it is that we want, need, deserve, and desire. And we are also very capable of giving them what it is that they would want, need, deserve, and desire from a relationship. So to me, this seems like we are, let's say, quickly or rapidly energetically attracting our next relationship partner. I feel like for some of us, this could even be something that we're manifesting or trying to manifest for. I feel like we've done a lot of self-healing work. We have, again, high self-worth. We are very confident, very self-assured, and we are just, again, the gist of it is we are ready. And we are ready, and for some of us, we are actively looking. For some of us, we might more so be leaving it open to chance. But again, we're still remaining open. Like we are very, very, very open right now to whatever is coming into our love lives and what it is that, and that's not to say that we're not being protective over ourselves and making sure that we're, like, of course, we're using our powers of discernment and we're being protective over ourselves and over our heart space. But we are definitely moving forward and trying to make some moves, let's say, within our love lives. Now, we're going to sort of switch gears here, and we're going to move more so into who it is that is going to be our next significant relationship partner. And to start us off, we're going to take a look into when. Okay, so what I did for pile 1 was I pulled 3 possible time frames. I'm going to do the same thing with time frames in general. Please use discernment, but it seems like you're very good at that already. Pile 2, but please use discernment when it comes to the time frames because they could be wildly different from one another. Okay? And then the whole deck just exploded in my hand. So they could definitely be wildly different from one another. We have Taurus season, which would be about a year from now. Okay, April 21st to May 20th. Let's get 2 more. We also have fall, which fall is coming up in the next couple of months. For some of us in different hemispheres, it might be different for you. You might be in fall, or fall might be further away. I'm not exactly sure, but I know for me, fall's coming up in about maybe 3 months. And then we also have Virgo season. Okay, August 23rd to September 22nd, which is right about when fall starts, if I am not mistaken. So we have 2 very similar time frames, and we also have Taurus season. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. As always, take what resonates, leave the rest, and even more so, please use discernment when it comes to the time frames. Now we will get some potential zodiac signs out here that this person could have. Since it is a love reading, we would be looking for sun, moon, rising, or Venus signs. I'm also going to pull 3 of these, just again as some potential time frames. Potential zodiac signs. We have air signs, so that would be Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. We have fire signs, so that's already half of the zodiac. Hopefully we could get 1 card that sort of confirms. So fire signs are going to be Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries. And we don't have one that confirms, but we also have Scorpio jumping out. Okay, so that's a lot of signs. That is 7 potential signs, which I know is a lot. But again, hopefully this begins to make more sense, especially as you move forward, especially as we move forward into the fall for some of us. Now let's get some potential initials. Okay, first name or last name that this person could have. We have T, D, if you will flip, thank you. We have an O that just jumped out, an I, L, T, and an A. Okay, as some possible or potential initials that this person may have. Lastly, we are going to pull from another oracle deck. And I love this oracle deck because it can give somewhat of a physical description of what this person could look like, although we don't usually go for physical descriptions when we're doing cards like this. With that said, we're also getting some characteristics that this person has, some aspects of their personality, etc. But I feel like with the King of Cups here, especially with the Queen of Cups as well, there's already a strong indication that this person's going to be someone who's very open, very loving, very gracious, that this is somebody who's very sympathetic, empathetic, compassionate, that this is someone who is very capable of giving love and receiving love. They could be very romantic and very charming. This could also be somebody who is, let's say, kind of or very into their spirituality, but it could also come through as, especially with the King of Cups, that this could be somebody who's like a teacher or a guide, or like a teacher, a counselor, somebody that really likes to help to guide others. And since you are represented here to start with as the Queen of Cups, it could be significant to you, or it could be that you are very much so into the same things. Maybe you're a teacher, a healer, a guide of some sort. And we start out with the card, the Altar Priestess, preparation, prayer, and sacred ritual. And as we can tell here, it looks like she has an olive skin tone and obviously darker hair. Okay, so we've got olive skin tone, darker hair to start out with a little bit of a physical description. We have the Altar Priestess, who is very clearly into their spirituality. Okay, so preparation, prayer, sacred ritual. So again, maybe the two of you are similar in the sense of your spiritual beliefs. Maybe the two of you are also, let's say, more so of planners. Maybe your person is more so of a planner because we have that preparation message on it. But this person might be very into their religion or their spiritual beliefs. It could be something that the two of you relate to. And I also feel like even more so taking it away from spirituality and back to maybe that preparation and back to like the fact that this person is working on something or they're preparing for something. Maybe the two of you have similar careers. You know, maybe like just bringing up teacher again. Maybe the two of you are both teachers. Maybe the two of you are both like healers of some sort. Like maybe you're both doctors or nurses, whatever the case might be. As always, this is at the very least going to start taking place in the next couple of months. So, or maybe even for some of you, what I'm hoping for too is maybe for some of us, especially with these quicker time frames, we already know or have a hint of who this person could be. So again, maybe this is somebody that you know from work. Maybe a lot of this is already making sense in some way, shape, or form. But it does seem like to me maybe the two of you could have like a spiritual beliefs in common, religious beliefs in common, and or maybe the two of you work in the same field or something that's sort of adjacent to one another. You know, maybe you're a teacher and they're a nurse, etc. Whatever the case might be. Let's try to get, I want to get at least 2 more cards from here, but nothing's really dropping out. We again have, we have the Spirit Whisperer, and we have divine guidance and higher learning, or higher knowing. But it's funny that I said higher learning because again, I'm on some like type of teacher guidance counselor kick. You know, even some type of like maybe they work at a college or you work at a college, whatever the case might be. Anyway, we have the Spirit Whisperer and we have higher knowing, divine guidance. The King of Cups and Queen of Cups are extremely intuitive. So I do feel like, again, that's something that the two of you are going to have in common. Your intuition, your empathy, your compassion, etc. The Spirit Whisperer has darker skin tone and darker hair. Let's try to get one more card. And we have the Winged Wise Ones, which is very difficult for me to say. And we have sort of like an olive to darker skin tone. And we have darker hair. Okay, and it's funny because the same exact thing sort of happened for pile 1 where we had like very light hair and very pale skin, and now here we have darker skin tones, darker hair coming out for pile 2 as what this person could potentially physically look like. Okay, with the Winged Wise Ones, we have angelic help and miraculous aid. Again, I feel like this could maybe have something to do with what this person does for a living, as even for you, this could have something similar to do with what you do for a living, just because of the fact that it seems like the two of you might have that in common, or again, it's something adjacent. Like at a base level, both of your careers have something to do with helping other people, with guiding other people, with teaching other people, etc. Okay, this angelic help and miraculous aid, it brings me back to all of that, number 1, but it also brings me to, again, this person being someone who's very compassionate and very empathetic. Okay, that this person is someone who's very gracious, very generous, perhaps, that this person is very open, and they're definitely open, and they're sharing, and they're vulnerable, and it seems like they put their time, effort, and energy to, let's say, either in their personal life or even in a career sense, into helping other people. You know, they're definitely someone, this person definitely seems like a very good person and a good-natured person, somebody who helping other people or guiding other people, just being able to help other people is something that this person finds fulfilling. I hope that that makes sense in some way, and I especially hope that that starts to make sense even more as far as who this next person could be and who this next person is as you move forward into the future. Thank you so much, Pile 2, for allowing me to read for you today, and I really do hope that this begins to resonate as we move forward. Thank you so much, and I hope that you have a wonderful day. Hello, Pile 3, my green aventurine pile. Let's get into it. Let's see what is coming up next in your love life. What is next in love? Perhaps at first, because it's come out for the other 2 piles, we will see a little snapshot into what into what is currently going on within your love lives. But for now, let's see what is coming up next in love for you. Pile 3, what is going on in your love life, and then we will get into some oracle cards that will hopefully give a little bit of a when and a brief description of who this person could possibly be, so you know what to look out for. We start out with the Tower, so we're definitely getting into perhaps a little bit of what is going on now. The Tower, the 7 of Swords. We've been through it in our love lives. Too many cards. We have been through it in our love lives with those 2 cards, but we love to see it because we still have hope. Okay, the only thing that I'm going to warn against is maybe having hope for some past connections is maybe something I would steer away from. Instead, we should be building up hope for new connections that they are not going to be as our last ones were. I say that especially because the Tower can indicate sometimes abrupt endings. And in general, the Tower can bring up things that are, let's say, a little bit devastating, like cheating or betrayal, divorce, a long-term relationship, perhaps even ending, and sometimes these endings are quite shocking and they came out of left field. Okay. It could even be something like ghosting, but whatever it is, some of these endings could have been a little bit shocking to us. Some of them we perhaps knew that the Tower around us was crumbling, that the foundation of our relationship was crumbling, and that it was time to let go. But we do have the 7 of Swords, which again is going to bring up, I lovingly call the 7 of Swords the lying, cheating scumbag of the group. And we've dealt with a lot of lying, cheating scumbags within our love lives. Then we move forward to the Star. And the Star brings forth a couple of different things for me, the number one thing being hope. But it's also going to bring up things such as healing. It's going to bring up us placing more so of a focus on ourselves and making sure that we are, let's say, filling our own cup. And I feel like that's sort of the current, that's sort of what's going on here currently. We're trying to heal and we're trying to move on from certain connections from our past that were rather devastating in their endings, or where we were dealing with somebody that was a lying, cheating scumbag, or a combination of the 2. Okay, and I feel like when it comes to the Star is going to bring up hope, and to me, I love to see that because we're still hopeful. We're still hopeful about love. We're hopeful about love. We're hoping that we're going to meet someone who is not anything that we have had to deal with in the past. Okay, and that's a beautiful thing to see. However, since it did jump out after these 2 cards, I am going to preface it or put another disclaimer in there. And as always, take what resonates and leave the rest, because I feel like this could be the minority here. But it's time it's time for some of us to let go of the hope that comes from us being able to rectify these past situations. Okay, so if we're waiting for someone like a situationship or an ex that has screwed us over time and time again to magically turn into a better person, abandon all hope when it comes to that, because they're not changing anytime soon. But when it comes to what I would say is the majority of us, we've had to deal with this, but we are focusing on, and we have place to focus on ourselves and our own healing, and we are very hopeful as to the future of our love life. Okay, and we're keeping the past in the past. We're moving on. We're moving forward. We have moved on and we have moved forward for some of us, and we are hopeful as to what is coming up next within our love lives. So now, this is where the readings took the turn. Typically with pile 1 and pile 2, let's get some indication as to what is coming up next in our love lives. Okay, we have the Hermit. And the Hermit, to me, even as far as what comes next, we might still be focusing on our own healing with that Hermit card. The Hermit, for me, it's going to bring up, introvertedness. It is going to bring up something like hermiting. It's going to bring up that maybe we enjoy our time being single, that we at times enjoy our time to ourselves, for ourselves, by ourselves. It's going to bring up, that we are still also placing a huge focus on ourselves and feeling more settled within our own life. We've perhaps done some soul searching. We've gotten more so into our spirituality or our religion. We've become more settled and are becoming more settled within our career and our own lives. So we've got a lot of things going on for ourselves, and we don't necessarily mind being single. However, at times the Hermit will bring up that we do start to feel a little bit lonely. We're not feeling lonely all the time. It's not like this deep pit of despair and loneliness that we sit in. But there are times where we think to ourselves, it would be really nice to have a partner here for this. Or it would be nice to have a partner in general. It would be nice to be able to go do this or to go on vacation with a partner, etc. But we're not beating ourselves up about it. We're more so just objectively even. And of course, sometimes emotionally thinking it would be nice if we had someone. Okay, and now let's get hopefully another card or two to jump out. Oh, this one flew out of the deck. We have the Seven of Cups. And the Seven of Cups, it again brings me back to that hopefulness. It brings me back to there being some sense of or some hint of idealism when it comes to you and when it comes to your love life. You've dealt with shitty people, let's say. We've dealt with shitty people in the past. We've dealt with the lying, cheating scumbags of our past. We're healing. We're moving on. We're still very hopeful about what's to come as far as the future of our love lives. We do enjoy our singlehood, so it's not like we're in a rush, but we are exploring our options, and we're very idealistic. The star at times for me, too, is going to bring up idealism, and we are very idealistic, and that doesn't mean that we're not managing our expectations. It doesn't mean that we, expect the world and we expect a knight in shining armor. It's not like we're expecting love to just magically, show up knocking on our front door one day, but we are definitely thinking idealistically. We're looking at the best case scenario. We're exploring our options, or we're wanting to put ourselves out there and explore our options, or we are, with the Hermit leading into the Seven of Cups, maybe even more so, we are readying ourselves to be able to put ourselves out there and explore what our options are within our love lives. But we have this sense of hope, and we have this sense of idealism where we're again, hoping for the best. We're not hoping for, each and every single little thing to be perfect. We're not hoping for sunshine and rainbows and unicorns, but we are very hopeful, and we are very idealistic as we are putting ourselves out there in our love lives. And what I love with that is, despite whatever may have occurred in your recent or your distant past when it comes to your love life, you're not holding on to lingering trust issues. You don't have the viewpoint of everybody's the same and I'm going to get hurt just like I did the first time or the second time or the third time that I tried a romantic relationship, kind of thing. You're looking at potential or prospective love interests and partners with a very hopeful sense of things being the absolute best that the two of you can be for one another, And I love to see it because it is this sense of idealism, but you're also being realistic about it. And I guess since I said the world so many times, she decided to pop out. And I do feel like what's coming up next in your love life is there is this balance of you being hopeful about and energetically attracting a fulfilling romantic relationship, as well as you creating the life that you want for yourself. You are manifesting the life that you want for yourself. You're focusing on your own healing. You're focusing on, what it is that you can achieve and what it is that you can accomplish. So I feel like for some of us, it's really just dependent on how ready it is that you feel For some of us, we could be still trying to manifest and think about what it is that we want in our love lives, and we're actively really just focusing on ourselves and on our career and trying to feel more settled and secure within our own lives and trying to accomplish our goals and achieve what it is that we feel like we want to achieve. We're becoming and feeling much more fulfilled and whole and complete just being on our own right now. And maybe, again, we're not actively putting ourselves out there, but we're not opposed to it. We're very hopeful about it. We're just not exactly like let's just say if something happens, but we're maybe not, going on dates or going on dating apps even more so to try to actively meet someone. We're more so just letting chance or fate occur if it occurs while we focus on ourselves and achieve our goals. The other aspect of this, which I feel like for some of us could be equally true, maybe we oscillate between the both, and it could be a completely different camp, where again, we've been through some shit in our love lives. We're still very hopeful. We're not holding on to the past. We're hopeful about the future. We're idealistic about the future. We've enjoyed our time being single, but we are putting ourselves back out there and we are exploring what our options are. And we're perhaps like a little bit closer than the first camp when it comes to us energetically attracting a fulfilling romantic relationship. We're putting ourselves out there, and we're now like we've accomplished what it is that we want to accomplish for ourselves, and now we are ready to explore our options in a, like, let's say, a more so serious or with a lot more intention. Like we have the intention to put ourselves out there and meet someone and start to explore and to build a relationship with them and start to explore and to build a, more so committed romantic relationship with them. I hope that makes sense. Now, what we're going to do first, especially as we sort of switch gears to see who it is this next potential relationship partner, this next significant, meaningful potential relationship partner, we're going to get some time frames. And here I'm expecting the time frames to vary because it does seem like there's some people who still want to take some time to themselves, for themselves, by themselves, and they're leaving things more so up to fate or chance. And then there seems to be others who are putting themselves out there and sort of, let's say, dating with intention or putting themselves out there with intention. I'm not sure of the exact way to word it, so I hope that it resonates for you. But with that said, let's get some potential time frames. And the whole reason why I started that spiel is because I expect some of these to be closer and I expect some of them to be farther away, dependent on who it is that is listening to this. Okay, so we have Capricorn season, and Capricorn season is December 22nd to January 19th. As the first potential time frame, I'm going to get 3 potential time frames. With that said, please take what resonates and leave the rest, as well as to use discernment. Okay, we have January, which is very much so in line with Capricorn season. We have the card Sooner Than You Think. So I want to pull another one that gives a more so specific time frame of when this could be. But we do have Sooner Than You Think. And maybe for some of us too that are planning on, like, okay, yeah, we're manifesting love into our lives, but we're planning on staying single for the next couple of months, etc. Even the Capricorn January message could be Sooner Than You Think. Okay? And of course, for some of us, as always, take it as it resonates. You could meet this person even sooner than the time frames that are coming up here. And let's try to get one more card out here. And the final card to jump out is within the year. Okay? So this could be within the next year of your life that you meet this next significant relationship partner. With that said, now let's move on to potential zodiac signs. Okay. So we will pull like 3 of these as well. So we have air signs, which would be Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. We have Aquarius times 2. And we have Libra. Okay, so Libra times 2, Aquarius times 2, and Gemini jumping out as potential zodiac signs. With that said, let's get some potential initials out here. Okay, and we have I, flying off camera. We have U, N, P, A, C, and S. Okay, they won't cooperate with me. Okay, so we've got a couple of potential initials that I am pretty much in the way of right now, but we have I, U, S, N, P, A, C. Okay, along with the zodiac signs, Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini. Now what we are going to do is pull a couple more oracle cards, brief possible or potential physical description of your person, of who this next significant meaningful relationship partner is, along with some of their personality traits, what it is that they've got going on for themselves, etc. Okay, so let's get some potential physical descriptors. These two might vary, and I don't usually do this. I only do this really with this deck because of the characters on the cards. So take what resonates, leave the rest, you also use discernment when it comes to these. So we have the wise woman of Wonderland with integrity and compromise, and we have fair skin and lighter hair on this first card. And with that said, with the integrity and the compromise, as well as the fact that this person is wise, would indicate that this person is someone who is perhaps very intelligent. Maybe your intelligence, or their intelligence rather, is going to be something that attracts you to them. I love the fact that integrity is on there, because it would indicate to me that this person is not at all like the lying, cheating scumbags who you have dealt with in the past. That this is somebody who is very open, very honest, somebody who is very authentic with you. And I love compromise. Okay, because compromise shows that this person is not looking to be overbearing or controlling. Let's say this shows that this is somebody who you can work with and who's willing to work with you. That this is a relationship that's going to be very fair and very balanced. And I feel like it is a huge step up from what we have dealt with in the past when it comes to our other relationships that may not have been so fair or compromising. We move forward to the cosmos, and we have creativity and vastness. And I feel like for some reason the vastness, I'm not even sure if this is related to what the word means, but it's like for some reason with that vastness message, it's almost bringing me that this person has many talents. And the fact that we have creativity on there could lead me to that as well. That maybe this is somebody who's very creative. There is no character on the card to give a physical description off of. So far all we have is fair skin and light hair, lighter features. Anyway, getting back to the cosmos, I feel like, first of all, the cosmos to me, it will bring up like maybe this person's a little bit more on the spiritual side, or maybe that's something that the two of you will have in common. That may resonate for some of us, but more so when it comes to their creativity, I feel like maybe you are interested in them because of whatever it is that they do creatively. Maybe that's something that really attracts you to them as well, aside from their intelligence, aside from their like how easygoing they might be and nice they might be and kind they might be. I feel like creativity is something that the two of you are going to have in common, or that's going to be something that you find very attractive about this person. You know, they might be like an artist of some sort, a musician of some sort, and it's just something that really draws you to them. Or it's something that you're attracted to, or it could be something that you have in common with them. You know, you might be a musician as well. You might be an artist as well. You might like to write. Whatever the case might be, it seems like the two of you can find some similarities between what it is that you like to do as far as hobbies. And I feel like, again, the vastness message kind of shows like almost like the message that I get from that is that this person could be considered a jack of all trades. Like they could have many talents. They could have many hobbies. that they're into. And for some reason, it's just bringing me to that, like, that this person's kind of a jack of all trades. Okay, so again, not sure if that will resonate. Hopefully it begins to resonate for you within the next year as you hopefully meet this person. But that's something that is coming up for me here. I also feel like the vastness, too, is going to bring up that this person's more so of like a deep thinker. You know, this person, again, is somebody who is very wise. And let's try to get one more card out here today. Oh, I love it. Okay, so we have a bald head. It looks like, I need to bring it closer to my face. I'm pretty sure that is a bald head, and we again get fair skin. But anyway, we have the High Lord of Gratitude and Service. We have selflessness, humility, and conscious action. I personally, first of all, I find the conscious action bit very interesting because I was talking about acting with intention when it came to you. And perhaps when you do meet this person, it's like when they're dating or when they're putting themselves out there, they're also doing it with intention. Like, for example, your intention might be to find this romantic fulfillment with the world, you know, to find romantic fulfillment, to find the person that you're going to settle down with and start a life with. And it seems as though when you meet this person, they're also looking to put themselves out there to find the person that they're going to start their life with or build their life with. They're looking for romantic fulfillment. They're not looking to just date. They're not looking to dick you around or lie, cheat, and steal. They're looking for someone who they can settle down with. Okay, with the gratitude and the service message on this card, or as like the title of the card, I would say that this person is someone who is very giving, that this person might even have a career, might work in a field, let's say. I would say that this person's career path is going to be that they either help others or they help others through their creativity. You know, like, for example, they could be someone who is a therapist. They could be an art therapist. They could be someone whose music is, let's say, like it, that when they put their music out there, other people can relate to it and other people, you know, whatever. It could be somebody who's like a content creator, let's say. Whatever the case might be, I feel like their work is somewhat creative, or they have some type of creative freedom or liberty over the work that they do. Okay, so I hope that that does make sense in some way. The gratitude, the selflessness, the humility, they are definitely somebody who makes it their life's work to help others, to show up for others. This is someone who you can depend on and rely on. This is somebody who wants the best for you, who wants the best for themselves, and who wants the best for every single other human on this planet. Okay, this person might be somebody who's very into volunteering or philanthropy. They definitely like to put themselves out there and help others. They're definitely someone who has a very kind and pure soul. I really hope that that makes sense, and again starts to make sense either in Capricorn season or sooner than you think, or within the next year, that this air sign person makes an entrance into your life. This person does genuinely seem like someone who is very pure-hearted. So I do hope that it makes sense and that it begins to resonate as we go forward into the future. Thank you so much, Pile 3, for allowing me to do this reading for you today, and I hope that everybody has a wonderful day.